So, you guys want to go ahead and start taking calls, or got anybody have anything else they'd like to discuss for a few minutes first?
I don't think so.
Okay. Well, we have a caller, and he goes by Qdragon. I believe I know who this is. Qdragon, you're on the air. Are you the Qdragon that I know of from YouTube?
Oh, I believe I am.
Okay.
Hello, everyone.
How are you today?
I am good. If I could bring up flood, I have a question about the flood.
All right.
How did the animals survive on the boat for 40 days?
Well, they were on the ark actually for much longer than 40 days. Actually, the Bible tells us that they were on the ark for about 1 year. And so, but the ark was plenty large enough to house not only the various kinds. Noah didn't bring all the species aboard. Noah didn't gather the animals. God brought them to Noah. But the various kinds that were on the ark, there was plenty of space on the ark for the animals and for food. You know, you could fit, going by the dimensions for the ark given in the Bible, you could fit over 3,000 railroad cars inside the ark. So there was a lot of space, and it was three levels as well. So there was plenty of space inside for food. Oh, and let me say one more thing, if you don't mind. Some of the animals provided food for other animals. For example, chickens lay eggs, right? Cows give milk. So that's food for Noah and his family right there.
Okay, so did they bring extra gazelles for the lions?
Well, they may have eaten fruit or vegetables for all you know.
No, they didn't. Lions do not.
Well, you don't know that. You don't know that because they need protein. Beans and nuts provide protein as well.
Okay,
but they may have. But they may have brought. I don't think the Bible states that though. So I would say no. Probably. I would think that protein-eating animals likely would have eaten nuts and fruit. And beans. But on the other hand, it's also very possible that these animals never ate meat prior to the flood anyway, because the Bible says that it was, well, no, they probably did, because the Bible says because of sin entered the world, then so did death. So they probably were meat eaters by that time, but I would think that they could have subsisted on nuts and fruits and beans. And
okay,
wheat.
Now, okay, my second question. So, where did the water go?
Well, the water went into the oceans. The ocean floors sank as the waters vacated the earth. So, the waters for the flood are still there. They're in the oceans today.
Mm-hmm. If
you look at the Earth with Google Earth and look at the continental, the edges of the continental plates, you can see there's a sheer drop-off all the way around the continents all around the world. And this is an indication, of course, that the ocean floors sank. So it's estimated that the oceans were only about half as deep as they are today before the flood, and the ocean floors sank because the water vacating the Earth left empty space inside the Earth, and this was filled by the crust of the Earth collapsing.
Okay, third question. So when everyone gets off the ark, there's 2 of every animal, right?
No, there were 7 of the clean kind and 2 of the unclean.
Well, that was just what was taken onto the ark. We don't know what actually walked off of the ark. To answer your first question, chickens hatch within 21 days, so their gestation period isn't all that long. It's very possible they could have fed lions and tigers and bears, chickens. The gestation period is only 21 days, so there's that possibility while you're on the ark. Plus, who knows what walked off of the ark? I mean, there could have been 40 chickens that walked off the ark. I don't think it's ever really explained in the Bible. It's just told what's taken on the ark.
Now, were insects taken on the ark?
Well, the Bible says that those creatures which had the breath of life in them, that would mean anything that didn't breathe with a gill, I think, or some other structure like that. So I would say yes, obviously, because they exist today. So they had to have been aboard the ark.
Now, what about plants? How did plants survive the flood? Because I can't imagine many plants surviving a radical change in their environment for what you say is a year.
Well, plants create seeds. That's how they propagate. So,
exactly.
The Earth, you know, the environment science has verified that the Earth's environment was vastly more healthier before the flood. I mean, look at megafauna creatures, the fossils of organisms demonstrates that the life forms were huge compared to what they are today. I mean, various fossils like that have been found of all various kinds of creatures. Giraffes, massive giraffes, huge. Armadillos, almost as big as one of those tiny little Italian cars you see in the old 1960s movies. Armadillos that big. Dragonflies with wingspans of 5 feet, etc. And we verified that the Earth had far more oxygen in the past, and the fossil record shows that plant life was more prolific then. So there would have been one tremendous number of plants on the Earth before the flood, vastly much more plant life than today. So when the flood occurred, it simply buried all these seeds. Trillions upon trillions upon trillions of seeds were buried in this sediment, and after the floodwaters abated from the Earth, the plant simply grew from seeds.
So we have insects on the Ark, and we have plants that survived the flood. Now, my question is, do you know of the cheetah? When you look at cheetah, the fast cat, when you look at a cheetah DNA, it shows evidence of a population bottleneck. Why do we not see evidence of a population bottleneck in every animal?
Because of the flood.
but you're reducing...
Because life was reduced to 7 of each kind, you see. They went aboard the Ark and 2 of each unclean kind. That's your bottleneck right there.
Yes, but when we look at other animals, we don't see the bottleneck.
Well, not every animal has exactly the same kind of DNA operations. They all have very, very much, there's a lot of similarities. But not every creature has the same genetic variability, you know, all of them. That's going to vary from one kind or one species to another. So I don't find it any kind of a problem for creation or the flood that you'll find a different genetic variability in one kind of creature than in another.
Mm.
Especially things like insects, which reproduce in massive numbers compared to animals of, say, mammals, you know.
Right, now,
we should expect, I think, to see a very different genetic variability in insects than mammals.
Okay, but when we look at other mammals or other closely related species, we still don't see a bottleneck.
Well, I don't, like I said, the only thing I can say about that is that organisms, the genetic variability of organisms, it can vary from one kind of a creature to another. So I don't see how that's a problem for the creation model.